Welcome into Webchat with the Mayor. Pat Sobeski joins us here, setting up another council meeting coming up this Thursday night. And Pat, the report is in on a new baseball complex and some options outlined, and it looks like the cost is going to be pretty steep.
Yes, there's been, it's been an ongoing report. 3 or 4 months ago, council had a report talking about the usage, how much different various groups were using ball diamonds across the city. And so we've looked at, we instructed staff to go ahead and start doing some preliminary work. So they've come back with 4 sites that are controlled by the city. And in the report, it says to build a 4-diamond complex to the requirements that they're looking for. You're looking at anywhere from $500,000 to $750,000 for each diamond. So it's pretty pricey. The revenue that's generated from the rental of ball diamonds would be under $25,000 annually, and the maintenance cost to maintain these diamonds is in the range of approximately $60,000 a year. So it was an item that's on the wish list, and now we're seeing some numbers beside it. And as I think our taxpayers are experiencing some taxpayer fatigue during these economic times, it'll go on the capital list, but as to where it falls in the priority listing, that's a decision council will have to make in the future.
So that cost estimate really is double, maybe even triple what the original estimates were.
There were numbers, again, they were just numbers being floated around in the $1 million range for a complex. So these are the numbers we're dealing with now. Again, they're broad estimates, but not to say the pun, but I imagine they're in the ballpark of what you can expect.
All right. Moving on to other things, the budget process, or it looks like we're going to at least start thinking about numbers for 2012.
Yes, at the city and at the county, staff departments are now preparing their budgets, which will then go to the management staff for a consolidation that is often presented then to council early in the 2012. What we're doing here at the city and looking forward at the county is basically saying I think it's councilors' responsibility to give staff better direction now as to what we expect to see in the budget as far as the dollar increases in taxes. So in the past, we've let them go through the process, then they come back and say, well, it looks like the taxes are going up 4%. Council says, oh, that's too high. Can you cut it back to 2%? Right. Well, let's tell them up front now that we're looking for whatever we're looking for, and therefore then they can build their business cases around that. And so I think it's a much better process, but I think it's a responsibility of elected officials to give staff a better direction and not expect staff to be mind readers.
So Thursday night, do you expect to do that? Give them a number to go and, take to their departments? Well,
we have a recommendation going forward, and there is a recommendation. There's a blank in there as to what number to fill in. So we'll see how the council discussion goes around that. But again, I think we have an obligation to provide direction.
One other item of interest on the agenda, Pat, deals with a land sale. You guys are buying a parcel from the Upper Thames?
That's correct. It's a $6,000 purchase, but it doesn't say $6,000. You know, how important a piece of land is it? Well, it's a piece of land that will allow us to build a road through this from Highway 59 over to the 11th line. Basically, you've got the Sally Creek subdivision on the one side. We have Albert Hargraves and others developing on the 11th line, and so it makes sense to have a side road going through. And but there's a little chunk of land in there that's owned by the Upper Thames, so this small parcel needs to be purchased so that indeed the 2 roads proposed by the subdivisions can be connected. So it just makes sense that we do need a middle road between Dundas Street and the Tollgate Road to allow traffic to move better.
Okay, certainly should be an interesting meeting to see council's reaction to that dollar figure, the ballpark figure on a new baseball complex. We'll see you Thursday night, Pat.
See you Thursday night. Bye now.